van de Montblanc Amsterdam. Namens de hele staf van de Boutique Amsterdam wil ik u van harte welkom vandaag op die bijzondere dag waar we Erik Vrij hebben uitgenodigd. Erik Vrij hebben we gekozen om hem te helpen bij zijn boek, omdat buiten natuurlijk een goede schrijver te zijn, heeft hij ook Montblanc ergens in zijn hart, denk ik. Hij is gecommitted, passioneerd, determined, committed en hij heeft de liefde voor Montblanc. Maar Montblanc is altijd een merk geweest die super druk was met alles wat heeft te maken met schrijvers. Toen Montblanc werd gecreëerd, meer dan 100 jaar geleden, in 1906, de 3 thuisjes, begonnen we met pen. Dat was de eerste link met natuurlijk alles wat heeft te maken met schrijven. Maar heel snel hebben we ook in 1909 onze eerste pen gelanceerd en die heet, weet iemand hoe dit pen heette?
Voor wetenschap.
Anyone else?
Hij heet Le Rouge et le Noir, van de famous, bekende boek van de Stendhal van 1830. En dit was onze eerste pen. Hij was natuurlijk rood en zwart, maar het was ook de bedoeling om een beetje een heer naar hem te geven. Maar sindsdien hebben we ook heel veel schrijfinstrumenten, zoals we het hier noemen, gelanceerd ten eer van great writers. En je kent zo misschien een paar van Agatha Christie, Fred Hitchcock. Dit jaar hebben we Defoe gelanceerd van de schrijver van Pinocchio. Dus we hebben een heel sterk verhaal met schrijvers. En dit is de reden waarom toen Erik Vrij naar ons kwam, hij is een Montblanc liefhebber. Hij heeft de waarde dat we op zoek zijn als we iets met iemand willen doen. En we hebben dit historie met schrijvers. Dus ik ga het niet langer maken. Welkom allemaal en ik geef het woord aan Erik, die zal nu misschien een beetje op zijn boek vertellen. Dank u wel.
Okay, welcome everyone. I will do it in English because we have Sean here is taking a video for all the people that will be watching it on Facebook. There are many people in 33 countries. I'm quite honored who have supported the book. So I hope they will understand it as well. And there are a few English speakers among you. I'm very honored to be here. It's actually a very symbolic place and time as well. I found out yesterday, to my shame, that the Boekenweek, the Dutch book week, as we call it, is starting today. So that was a sheer coincidence. Secondly, we are here in the PC Hoofdstraat. It's not only the most expensive and exclusive shopping street in the country, but it's also named after one of the most famous writers in the Netherlands, Pieter Cornelis Hooft. He's the one who gave name to a famous literary prize, which I haven't won yet. Working on it. Thirdly, we are here in this beautiful boutique. Yves already mentioned it. I have a passion for Montblanc. I love the brand. I think it's beautiful. I have many good memories of it. It actually started when my grandparents had their 50th wedding anniversary. They gave the whole family a pen. Another pen was given to me by my sister when I organized her wedding, and my wife is giving me regular presents as well. In order to earn those, I must give her presents as well. So
Just a short walk.
we go a long way back, and it's a bit of a story how we came to meet each other. Actually, more or less 1 year ago, and indeed the story is quite appropriate with the title White Ink, which I didn't even realize that it's quite appropriate for a writing instrument brand, which actually produces bottles. White is not among them yet. Surprise, surprise. And there is a key moment in the book in which an electronic pen is used. Montblanc has actually launched an electronic pen a few months ago, in October, I believe, last year. So it was very appropriate, and I'm extremely pleased and proud to be here for the book launch of the English edition. I'm going to tell you a little bit. I'm not going to be as lengthy as for the first edition in Dutch. For those who were there, it was a bit long. I will tell you something about the way this book was made and how a little bit about the story. There are a few things how this came about. I was in ELSA, that's a big European Law Students Association. I was more or less the publisher of ELSA. I made 2 books. I'd like to show that because later on we're going to give the first edition to the president of ELSA International, who's standing somewhere in the back. I made this book and I made this law journal, and I loved publishing. I wanted to be a publisher like Gert-Jan Schinkel here of SDU. I'll tell a bit later. I wanted to be a publisher, but that didn't happen later on. But I loved making books, and I had a bit of a dream to make my own book at some point, and it had to be a fictional book. Who doesn't want to be John Grisham, Frederick Forsyth, all of those writers? I thought, let's give it a try, but I wasn't sort of seriously planning something like that. But I did like to read the story that I couldn't find in the bookstore, and I thought, why not write it? So I went to write it, and then there's actually one more thing that I'll explain later, which is a bit of a nice coincidence. I wrote half of the book on my mobile phone on the way to work, because I didn't have a laptop at the time, and I just wrote on very slow software, unlike the new software that I'm using now. I wrote small chapters of 100 words more or less on my mobile phone, and then it went so slow that I had to open a new file and write a new story. So it took a long time. It took about 10 years for me to write it, way too long. The next one will not take that long, I hope, I believe. And I thought I want to write something which is fun, which is interesting, and which is thrilling. It's a bit of an unusual combination to have in one book. So it's not typically one genre, thriller or comic, or as one colleague of mine says, it's a klucht. The book, it's a bit of a mix, I guess. Those you may not know the word klucht, but it's a bit of like a comedy. Or also, I had the ambition to write a parody on these cheap women love stories that you buy in the supermarket. I wanted to write a parody on it. It's included in this book, I can tell you. You will find a few scenes. Those who have read it may tell you after the drinks and after the signing. Anyway. I work in the financial industry in the legal department, and it's a very good place to be inspired about all things that can go wrong involving big money, international finance, big industry, etc. Thrilling elements for a book. I thought, let's write something that I'm familiar with, and it needs to be entertaining, etc., as I just said. So that's what I wrote. I wanted to write something which was set in the future, not the far away future, but the near future, that everyone can imagine, like, I'm going to be only 15 years older, I still exist. This is not future as in 2200 with spaceships and laser guns and that kind of stuff. It had to be the realistic future that you can actually imagine happening, but still, you could call it political fiction as well. It's a future in which politics does not play too much of a role, because it's perhaps politically ambitious. Anyway, you will have to read about that. I'm not going to say so much about the story. Anyway, the other thing that I liked about producing this book is the fact that normally if you are writing a book, you have to find a publisher at some point, and publishers, unlike Gert-Jan here, are typically very dominant in terms of the cover design, the cover, what's in it, commercially very relevant. Perhaps I just did the right thing, I'm not sure. But I designed the cover. I didn't design it myself, but I had in mind what it had to be like, and what the back cover presentation would have to look like. On a sunny day, I rented a plane, and because the story is set partly in Marken. It's a tax haven in 2028, believe it or not. It's now a fisherman's village. 15 years from now, it's a fisherman's village still, but it's also the legal Silicon Valley of Europe. Don't ask why, you will read it. But the cover had to be Marken, an aerial photo from Marken, but not just with the nice wooden houses on poles. They had to have this sort of Markhatten, as I call it in the book. It had to have the skyscrapers where the legal industry is located. Anyway, so I took that photo from a plane that I rented for an hour, and I put it on a website for graphic designers. And here's Niels standing in front of you. He made the winning design that we sort of together developed into something that is actually ended up on this bottle that he gave me. Fantastic, thank you very much. It's got the back cover on it as well. It's beautiful, very nice and considerate. So that was nice, and actually I had my own baby and I picked the face of it as well, which I consider important. Then obviously I bumped into, through a mutual friend of Brigitte, I came across Gert-Jan Schinkel. He's a publisher at the SDU. He publishes the Advocatenblad and other journals and books. It's a law publisher. It's the publishing house of the government, if you like, since ages. Not formally anymore, but since its privatization. But it goes back 200 years in history. And this is actually the first fiction publication. It was a bit of a thing that you wanted to do one weird thing in a year or something. And last 2 years ago it was me, and I'm very happy about it because the target audience is perfectly overlapping with the one that I had in mind, but then after office hours. You normally produce for office hours, professional literature. This one is for the same people, but then after office hours at home for fun, entertainment, etc. And I was very happy about it. My company ING sponsored it. They purchased a large number of copies to hand out as a relationship gift to clients in private banking, wealth management, law firm industry, international business, and a little more. I'm proud that it generated some very good reviews as well. A 4-star review on the leading thriller website here in the Netherlands. So I'm proud of that. And I thought my ambition was to have it in English as well. Mostly because I wanted my friends and other people that I know in other countries to be able to read it as well. But I didn't want to write it in English because I'm sort of okay with English, but it's not my native language and that's not the way it's done, basically. So I had it translated by someone who's unfortunately not here, but she did a great job. Judith Kiss, fantastic name by the way. She's based in Hungary and she's a native speaker, a translator, editor, writer as well herself. And I got in touch with her and she translated the whole book in 5 months. Then I thought, how am I going to find an international publisher? Because as they use a Dutch publisher, they focus on the Dutch market. It's not a literary or sort of general publishing house. Basically, you will have to find one in other countries, particularly like England or America. So that was the next ambition. But then I thought I can look for one, but it will take ages, typically, if you even find one, because that's very difficult to begin with. So I thought, being in the finance industry, I'm quite involved in alternative finance like crowdfunding and other ways of funding. And I thought, being inspired by my sister is also considering in a bag industry, so she's set up her own bag line. She came up with Kickstarter, which is the biggest crowdfunding platform in the world. It's American and they opened up the first foreign office in the Netherlands in April. It's the first country outside of America where they opened up shop. And I thought, let's see if I can use my network in ELSA, ING and other networks to see if I can get people that I have sort of found interested in it, willing to support this. And I put the project on Kickstarter in November for a 3-week period, and that was quite successful. I didn't generate billions of euros, but I mean, crowdfunding is not very big in Kickstarter for fiction publications, but it's still they had 5,600 fiction publishing projects, so books essentially. And this book was in the top 10 for the whole 3-week period. It's based on how many people are donating and how much they are donating. And for a few days it actually reached the #1 position out of those 5,500. So I was quite proud of it. I'm very happy with the network and with all of you. Some of them are here and others are watching on the video hopefully later on. So the publication is there and I've got 1,500 copies printed and produced with the help of Gert-Jan and Marleen Schouten, desk editor at SDU. So they made it exactly the same way as the original publication. The original publication is this one actually, that was published 1.5 years ago. It's the Dutch edition. And I wanted to have the sort of identical, more or less, copy for the English edition. It's still looking slightly different, of course, because it's another edition. And I got my 1,500 copies 1.5 weeks ago, and I was extremely happy with it. and shall I show it to you or not? You want it? That's what you came for, eh? So here it is. I'm very happy. So this is the book, and I'm very happy with it. What I want to do with it is to use it mainly promotionally. I'm not. It's actually, sorry, I want to show you one more actually. It's not just a physical book, but it's also an e-book. And that's this one.
All right.
So we've got the e-book as well. And the e-book, I can tell you, it's already at 13 different Amazon sites around the world. Live now, you can already purchase it since yesterday.
Kindle as well?
Kindle, yeah, Kindle. Particularly like the Japanese one, which is incomprehensible if you read the whole stuff around it. So it's for sale, but it's mainly I want to use this one promotionally to spread it in the right audience. It's going to be handed out to 170 general counsels, heads of legal departments in the Netherlands at a legal conference, an annual conference they have, General Counsel Netherlands. I might actually also launch it to a Dutch legal technology company whose head is based in Silicon Valley, and he wants to use it promotionally at the Legal Future 2015 conference in Silicon Valley in 2 months' time. That would be fantastic. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but he's working on that. We'll be very excited because this is the heart of technology, obviously, and the heart of legal technology. And this is more or less the future that I'm predicting in it. If it will happen, who knows, but at least it should hopefully be inspiring. Anyway, so my aim is to find an international publisher with this book and to make sure that everyone will read it and hopefully like it. And there's a few people I would like to thank as well. I've mentioned a few already. My translator, Judith Kiss, who's done a fantastic job working hard on it. She's worked on other translation things as well. My editor, Karine Dames, I don't think she's here now, but she was potentially coming, couldn't make it, I guess. Gert-Jan Schinkel, of course. I mean, without him, this book wouldn't have been realized to begin with, let alone the English edition. And I'm very happy and pleased that he made the bold step of introducing fiction, for once at least, in the portfolio of SAE. Niels, who's done a fantastic job with the cover and with this bottle of wine. Congratulations on that. Thank you very much. Elsa for being a great source of inspiration. And I'll thank the president of Elsa International for that in a second as well by handing the first copy. And of course, all of the financial supporters of the publication out there. I mean, I hope they will watch the video. Some of you are here. Thank you so much. Without all of you, it wouldn't have been here, the publication, because I wouldn't have done it. I mean, I could have purchased it myself, but that's not exciting, I think. You need to have support for it, I think. And I guess that's about it. So I hope you will enjoy reading it. Those of you who have read it in English, in Dutch, may tell about it. If you are, I would be very pleased, of course, if you share this news and tell your friends, and if you like it, I mean, don't lie about it, but promotion is helpful. And share it, shout it around, and help me. And I hope to make something great out of it. And it's a nice challenge. Oh yeah, one last thing. The book is a special edition. It's the first limited edition. For Montblanc, it's actually nice because I've included a few pages as a preface, which are written with their electronic writing instrument. They're included here, but there are also some bonus materials in the back. The making of the book, the short story that I just told you is a bit more elaborately included in the back of the book. And I've included all the names and the countries where the people are from that financially supported it. It's a quite extensive list, 33 countries and 120 people, I think. And I've included a sneak preview of the next book that I have in mind, like a sort of a back cover text, if you like, that you could read on the next book, if it will happen. I'm working on it already. Let's see if I'm missing something. I think that's more or less, yeah. I think that's more or less it. So happy reading, and if you want to collect your copies, please come over and I'll write something in it if you like. And if you did not support it, you can still do it. And I'm not going to I'm not going to have a cash machine here or anything. You can bring a copy and fill out your name, and we'll settle the 20 euro per copy afterwards if you want. And so. Thank you very much for being here and supporting it, and have a drink and guess and look around in this beautiful shop. And I hope you'll all like it. So let me, I think you want to. I had to forget something, of course.
To help you conclude this nice speech, you see that it really came from the heart, like where Montblanc stands as well. I'm not your wife and I'm not your godmother, but I would like to give you a Montblanc gift. This gift had two meanings. One, to congratulate you for your writing journey that you did until now, I hope, and also that you can write a bit more.
Yeah.
So Erik Vrij, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all who have come and supported him as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So this is actually, let me just say a little bit about it, because it's just something. This is something I've actually used already.
Normally you're not supposed to do it again.
I know, but I just want to show it. I know, but I want to show it because it's too nice. Huh? The electronic pen. Sean here is actually using the Samsung electronic phone, the phone that you can use with this electronic writing instrument from Montblanc. It's a fantastic piece of technology, and it can both recognize your handwriting and turn it into sort of text writing. So it's competing quite well with the keyboard, if you ask me. But you can also write the handwriting that I just showed you, and it's just a great tool. I love it. I would have bought it if I wouldn't have got it. Let's say so.
Give it back then.
I won't. Sorry. Yeah, fantastic. Here it is. Here it is. So this is the first pen. Thank you very much, Montblanc. So I guess it's time to hand the first copy, and maybe I can invite the president of Els International, Armin. And your surname is typically Norwegian, but I have difficulty pronouncing it. You can introduce yourself in that sense.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Armin. I'm the president of Els International. As Erik has said, some of the inspiration for the book is from Elsa. I'm glad we have so much drama in our organization that can inspire our book. So I hope we continue pursuing our dramatic affairs and that you can write more books.
Exactly.
So I'm Norwegian, but my name is a bit not very typical for Norway. It's Armin Khoshnevi-Zadeh. Originally Persian descent, but if you want to have a game later, we can spell it out together after a few glasses of champagne.
So ELSA is an organization in 40 countries with 40,000 members, and I'm going to also, I didn't tell you yet, I'm going to use this book to give one for each local group. There are about 200 local groups in 40 countries. So local groups are groups of university students of law in these 40 countries, and I'm going to give all of them one copy, and I'm going to bring it to Romania and hand it out there and send the rest of them. So I'm pleased to give you the first copy. Thank you so much.
It's really nice. It's something that really is heavy in the hand, you know, not only on the screen anymore. So thank you very much.
Exactly. There it is. Thank you. So, I think then there's one last little thing for which some of you have come. There was the incentive for people that have financially supported the project. That they would be having a chance to win a real Montblanc pen writing instrument. It's a fantastic. It's the electronic one. I shouldn't maybe tell you, but it's a bit of a surprise. Shall I reveal it, or shall we just announce the winner? Because the winner may not be here. I must say that it was promised to people that have supported more than €100. There are a few of those here, but not everyone. But nonetheless, I want to sort of pick the name of one of them, and the winner will win and will get it, and will be sent the pen or we'll get it here basically. I hope they will be here, but we're going to have to pick the winner then. And I think I think we forgot to include the names in. There have to be some things that are not perfect.
We can postpone it to later otherwise. Huh?
Yeah, maybe we'll do that later. Yeah, we have to write the names and shall I? Yeah, it's just a matter of putting the names on paper and sort of having someone pick it out of the box. So.
In half an hour.
Yeah, let's maybe enjoy your drinks. We've heard enough talking now, and let's please everyone who wants to collect copies, and otherwise you have a chat, and I'll be here and provide you with your coffee. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
And,